Okay, I'm gonna start pressure flaking on this dovetail preform I was working on. And see if I can get some straights in my legs going and do a little pressure flaking. Can't do much, so don't expect much. Oh my gosh, it's pitiful. I'm just running a little bitty place off here. I ain't getting no distance at all. Look at that, that's as far as it went. Yeah, I guess it's better than nothing. Won't remember where I could run 2 inches or further. My ear got itching. I'll tell you something. That's not very impressive. Let's see what we do on this side. I'm going to do a continuous platform on this side by scraping down with my pressure flaker. I got a little hollow piece of copper pipe. It's like on a sharp angle I used to do this, but I think it's over in a wooden box on that other table. I'm not gonna get up and go try to find it. Do it with this, just take a little longer. I don't know why I worry about that past stuff. Anyway, I'm slow. There we go. We'll put a grinding on and see what it's gonna look like. I got this pressure flaker from Dan Collins. He sure got some good hand pads, and I should have got a hand pad from him. I meant to, and I forgot it. I'm rebuilding 4 right now, so waiting on the glue to dry. But anyway, he's got pressure flakers and issue sticks, and just about name it, that man's selling it. Bopper. Well, it is starting to look a little bit better. I think one more pass on the other side. At least I won't laugh, I don't think. I don't mind laughing at myself. I know when something looks bad, that's one thing for sure. I know when I make it and it looks bad. Boy, some arrogant son of guns out there, especially some young flint knappers. They're the most arrogant people I've ever seen in my life. They're so, I don't know, stuck on themselves or what you want to call it. Because they think they're the best out there. I heard one of them say the other day that a lot of you out there think I'm the best. I said, my gosh. I could name 10 people right off the top of my head and make him look like Ned the First Reader. And he's good. But my gosh, I guess nobody ever bragged on us, so he has to brag on himself. There's several of them like that. Bible has something about bragging on yourself. Plainly talks about that. Okay. See what the old man can do. It ain't gonna be much. Don't get excited. That might be running a quarter of an inch. At least it's straightening the edge up. After this breaking everything I make, because I can't pressure flake it, try to get it lined up and smooth as I can. Whereas before, I wouldn't worry about it because I knew I could pressure flake that problem out. I can't do that now. I'm not strong enough to pressure flake through a hump or something, or get below a hinge and run it out. I did a slab of a fitting. I'll show it to you. I did one side absolutely perfect. I'm starting to get some of my strength back. And I was so excited. And when I started on the other side, I was tired. I was huffing and puffing. And that should have told me something right then. I shouldn't have fooled with it. I should have waited till the next day. But anyway, here it is right here. And ain't this the side I did perfect, just got a little more oval to it. But anyway, when Dan Collins come, he come Thursday, and I was showing it to him, and he said, well, I got my grinder, and he said, I can grind over that edge and make a platform and get it out, and did. But I could have got it out of under normal circumstances. I could have just did flake over grind and made platform. But where I messed up was I didn't wait till the next day. I'd gotten tired. Boy, I was doing good on that first round there. But man, I would give out. Yeah. All right, let's see what we can do on this side. This side did pretty good. Even though the flakes didn't run very far, I straightened it out. That's the main thing. I keep thinking about and people bragging on themselves, those young people. Man, there's people been gone and dead that could make them look like lead in the first reader when it comes to Flint now. I'm trying to use my leg for power, but they ain't too strong either. My legs are weak apart. It affected my legs more than anything. My hips and my legs is where that rheumatoid arthritis settled into more than anything. And that medicine they got me on, I take it every Friday. And Saturday I can't hardly walk. It makes my legs so weak. That's a side effect on it. And they cut me down. I was taking 4 pills at one time every Friday. And I can't pronounce it. All of y'all out there know what I'm talking about. I'm going to try it. It's mestrotrexate or something like that. And so I'm taking 3 pills now. And because I'm taking 3 pills, I have a little pain in my shoulders and my wrist and my hip. But at least my legs don't get so weak I can't walk. Before I got off of it, when Saturday and Sunday come, I couldn't even walk. All I could do is make it to the bathroom. My legs were so weak. And by Monday, they start getting strong. And Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, then I had to take it again Friday. But she told me to cut back because it's working, but it's causing that side effect. So I cut back on it, and I'm taking just 3 pills a day. And it still makes me pretty weak in the legs on Saturday and Friday. But by Sunday, that's gone. So that's great. It's only lasting 2 days now. And it's not that bad. It's just have a little trouble walking. Make sure there's something around there in case I fall and hit myself in the head, knock myself out or cut myself. I have to be careful in my shop. When I get up, I hold on that table and then I hold on my chair. And when I step out, I got some stuff up against that wall that I can reach, I hold on to. Then when you go out the door, you got the door face and all that stuff you can hold on to and step down. So I do pretty good. I'm careful, real careful. bring this platform up a little bit. And get a little off the center line a little bit. I've got a big old hole right here. Basically a hinge. Something I really need to knock out with a billet. Don't see if I can get it out. I'll show it to you for just a second. See what I'm up against. If you look right there, you can see it. It steps up. I got it. I know it's fun watching somebody press flake about watching paint peel on me, but anyway. Tell you something funny. If you live across the river, the other side of Mississippi River's probably 4 miles from my house. Maybe not quite that far. It's real wide. When I'm standing there, I'm looking over 180 foot almost straight down on the bluff. And there's land down below, and it runs pretty good ways to the river. It's flat land. But once you cross it, and you can see over Louisiana, standing on that high bank, it's just as flat as it can be. And it's so funny, when you cross it, how flat it is. But what's real amazing is when you, in Louisiana and you come into Mississippi, you look up there and it's just a solid, straight up cliff. And that bridge is going up it from that flat land. And it's just amazing. Well, out in the country, where that flat land is at, water comes in there and stays. Be little old pools of water that stay and stuff like that. And beavers dam up some places and good duck hunting. And good squirrel hunting in the tupelo trees and cypress trees. Big old red squirrels like to get up in there, and some blackwood. Cut them tupelo balls, what they don't call them, cypress balls, and eat them. And so this young boy, there was a dirt road going down through there a long ways on this man's property, and he didn't care back then. People didn't care if you hunted on their property. Now I'm talking about in the 1960s. And he told us, we asked, and he told us we could camp. So there's a dirt road going down them hills. In some places it's almost straight down. I mean, it's kind of scary riding a horse down it so straight. It's an old dirt road. And we would ride our horses down there and or take our vehicle. A couple of us had vehicles who got a driver's license. They were a little older than me. And park on top of the hill. They wouldn't drive down it. And we would walk down it and shoot ducks where that beaver dam was. Just play around. You know how teenagers do, and camp out and stuff like that. We just had a good time. There's a bunch of little boys right out in the country, and we had a heck of a good time, I'm telling you. And so anyway, the story I'm going with is it's real sandy. It's nothing but sand. And it was cool, but it wasn't cold. But one boy insisted on bringing his sleeping bag. And he don't want to have a sleeping bag. Probably don't want to afford one. But anyway, we picked at him bad about it. We didn't have nothing. Some of us had some grass sacks or something like that, or some plastic put on the ground to keep us warm. But I had an old wool blanket I'd take. Had it rolled up on the back of my saddle. I thought I was bad like cowboys did. And we get down there that night, and it really wasn't that cold, and had a big fire. You know how you get a big fire going, sit around the campfire and laugh and tell stories and do things crazy. And we're sitting around there just having us a good old time. And we go to sleep. And one of them wakes up. And he's got a pee. So he kind of walks out away from the camp out there a pretty good way. And he hears something scraping around in the leaves. And he got a headlight on. And he shines it over that way, and it's an armadillo. And the armadillo is digging his hole in the ground there. It wasn't nothing but the top, about half the tail sticking out, dirt just flying out of that hole. So he just walks over there and it's real quiet, don't make no noise on that sand. And he grabs that armadillo by the tail. He said he'd let nothing ever pull him out of that hole. And this is a big old guy, boy. I mean, he was like 17 years old, weighed 200 pounds, and lift weights and stuff, played on the football thing. But he said he got him out of there, so he like nothing never got him out of there. So he comes over and wakes a couple of us up, and one in the sleeping bag, and a couple of others were still asleep. And he'd woke a couple of us up. When he got up, we heard him. We wasn't sleeping that good. I wasn't asleep anyway. I just lay there with my eyes shut. And that old armadillo kicking around like all get out. He's holding him by the tail, and he's jerking his arm like that. And he don't let him get them claws in his leg. And he's holding him. Somebody said, "What you going to do with him?" He said, "I don't know." They said, "Let's kill him and eat him." And we thought about doing that. And people eat armadillo back here. And we were talking about that. And somebody said, well, let's put it in red sleeping bag. I said, do what? I said, man, he's over there snoring here in the world he's in. Let's put him in red sleeping bag. And I said, man, I don't think we'll do that. And he just kept on, yeah, let's do it. So, two of them, it was three of them, you know, I'm sitting there watching, and they, one of them unzipped that sleeping bag a little bit. Well, he had it up to his arms and had it folded out. Well, he unzips about another 4 inches, and they shove that armadillo, stick that armadillo in their head first. And he goes straight to the bottom of that sleeping bag. And he was scratching that boy like all get out with them claws. And he goes to screaming, something got me. He's screaming, my God, something's got me. Help me, help me. And he comes up like a tater sack race. He ain't even trying to get out of that sleeping bag. He comes up and he is jumping and hollering and falling. He fell 2 or 3 times in the sleeping bag. There's something killing me. Y'all gotta help me. Help me. And about that time, that armadillo gets out of there. And he gets mad. We sitting there laughing. And he seen that armadillo. There's plenty of daylight around that fire. He seen that armadillo take off. And he run over where the sleeping bag was at, and he had a 12-gauge single shot shotgun. And he loaded that son gun up saying he's gonna kill her. And I take off running, and everybody else does. And he shoots at us. It's dark, he can't see us. But you can see our shadows running through them trees. And he hauled off, throws the number 6 shot our way. And those shots were going through there, and one guy had a shot go through his ear, one little shot go through the lobe of his ear. And you talking about bleeding. I didn't realize his ear bleed that much. But that son was bleeding. And we ran through them woods. We run up there where our horses were. And untied them. They weren't too close where we was camping. Well, they was pretty close, but anyway, we got to the horses. They about 50 yards probably where the fire was at. Wasn't no trees where we had the fire going, just a bank. It up against the bank. And we took off. And I won't never do that again. Well, I didn't do it. But I won't be part of it. I'll stop it. The boy, it scratched his leg. You wouldn't believe how bad it tore his legs up, his stomach. When that armadillo went down through that sleeping bag, he was moving on. He didn't care who he heard or what he got into. He just wanted out of that sleeping bag. I learned me a good lesson right there. Do not do that. Not a good thing to do. Another thing we used to do, we were bad about doing things with kids. We tied we didn't tie this, I don't know what I'm saying. If they tell them a snake story, I ain't gonna tell it. We put 3 or 4 big old crawfish in a guy's sleeping bag while he was sleeping. Didn't but one of them get him. That's all it took. When that son got him, he come out there like a scalded dog. Man, you talk about somebody coming out of that sleeping bag. That crawfish had him on the arm. He was hanging on. You just didn't want to go to sleep first if you was with our bunch. We didn't get much sleep because everybody was scared to go to sleep first. But I told that on some of my other videos. I know I have, and that's what I was thinking about when I was telling about the crawfish. My friend killed a big old rattlesnake. Shot him right in the middle of the head with a .22 rifle. That son was almost 6 foot long. He was about 5'10". He had about 14 rattlers in the butt. I mean, he was huge as far as round. That joke would be round as all get out. And I don't think he'd been eating on nothing because his whole body was round like that. I think that's just his natural size. And he brought him to my house. And we had privet heads growing in my front yard. And Dad kept it trimmed about 4 foot high. And it's so thick you couldn't see through it for nothing. And we could sit on one side of it, and the cars go by it, bordered the road. They couldn't see us for nothing. And we could just see little glimpses of the cars going through the cracks in the hedge bushes. And so we got us a rod and reel, had about a 14-pound test line on it, I guess. And we tied it to a snake's head and coiled him up in the middle of the road. We got over in them hedge bushes. And when a car would come by, we would reel him in. And I mean, he'd come out of there, he'd be going straight as he could go. He didn't look like no snake because you dragging him straight. There wasn't no bend in his body nowhere. Them dang people run over him 4 or 5 times. They'd back up and peel off rubber on him, back up and do it again. Especially the women would. And after so many times, he was like 2 foot wide. It wasn't no meat on him, it wasn't nothing but hide. And you make him move and they'd run over him. As long as he moved, they'd run over him. So he was so wide, we were just fixing to quit. And here come a car. It had 2 ladies in it. And man, they run over that son of a gun, and we sitting there laughing. They'd had the door open, the window down, they could hear us laughing. We was laughing so hard. And what we was laughing about, it was just because it was moving like a snake. It was a snake, but they run over it. They just couldn't realize it was dead. And so one of them gets out on the passenger side, and she walks over and she's looking at it. And while she's looking at it, we moved it 2 or 3 inches. And Lord have mercy. She jumped up and down, stomping her feet. Run got in that car and said, "Liza, he ain't dead. Lord of mercy, he ain't dead." And so Liza starts backing over him 2 or 3 times, back and forth. And he's sure enough spread out now. And she gets out and she goes around there and she just gets around the corner of the trunk of the car. And we reeled a little more line in. And he takes off again. And boy, she goes screaming, gets back in that car, run over him 4 or 5 times again. And this time she gets out, and we laughing so hard, she can't see us, but she hears us. And she knows we're back up behind them hedge bushes. And boy, you're talking about getting mad. I'm gonna call the law on you, boy. I hear you, boy. Man, that was unbelievable. But boy, what people do to try to kill a snake, just amazing. I done installed that notch out, sitting here talking. Can't believe I did that. I had to figure out a way to get it going again. Go ahead and do this one. Well, I ground it up now again. I'm used to copper. Copper will grip. You need copper to bite into that stone and take a hold to it. There we go. There we go. Just the other side like that. It's amazing what happens when you change pressure flakers. Get the right tool. Let's see. That's a little out of balance. Let's start to look a little better. There we go. Hope y'all enjoyed that.